Jill Strange, welcome. We
thank you for
appreciate
having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Appreciate you joining us here in the sesh, in the garage, the McNulty garage. We can thank our hosts, the McNultys, for having us out once again. You know, I think about musicians and all the many musicians that I've interviewed over the years. There have been a ton of them over the last 30 years, and we talk about them in their childhood and how they were sort of influenced to become musicians, and their parents kind of, making them do piano lessons and violin, or maybe their parents were musicians themselves. This is a little different, though, DJing. Was your mom some sort of master DJ back in the day, and you kind of took it from there, or how did you become involved in this?
Well, I mean, what happened was I was never really interested in music. I had a few favorites. My dad always listened to Sam Cooke and the Beatles, and so I would always listen to that whenever we were driving. But my mom is a fitness instructor, so in the 90s, she'd be listening to all this, like, Chicago house and, like, really upbeat, like, 130 BPM house music. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And it's just like subconsciously it sat in there until I was in high school, and I was kind of reintroduced to electronic music and underground culture, underground music culture. So, and that's where the ball started rolling, and I just collected more and more and more of what I found interesting.
So your mom actually did have some influence in you going
very
into
much,
this,
and she's in the audience out there. Hey, Mom.
Welcome.
Yay for Mom.
We all have.
Yeah. So for the past 8 years, you've been DJing and producing?
Yes. Yeah, about 8 now. Yeah. I started when I was a junior in high school. I went to Columbia College when I was still in high school to learn how to DJ. And then it took 3 years to convince my parents to loan me a few bucks to buy very expensive DJ equipment that they were, for good reasons, kind of reserved on letting me get. So, and I finally got it, and I was able to practice. And
paid off?
Yeah. Paid off.
Can we talk a little bit about DJing and what it is? I have a whole different idea of what that is. I was a DJ when I was, in high school, but that was, playing the Beatles over here, and as soon as that song was over on that turntable, I'd start this turntable over here. It's much different than that, correct? If you could explain the art of DJing.
Yeah, because there are the radio DJs, and then we have club DJs, which, I feel like you have to explain to a lot of people, because whenever I say I'm a DJ, they're like, oh, radio? And I'm like,
what radio station
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, no, I play in, like, clubs, and so I have to explain to them what I do, and it's more keeping the energy up or creating a vibe and showing, and then like a radio DJ, you're showing people new music, or at least that's what I think a DJ should do. And there's different styles of DJing too. So, there's this turntablism where you're scratching and you're, chopping up tracks, and then there's house DJing, which is creating this vibe, this overall vibe for maybe an hour or so. And then there's now we have festival trap and, all this really hard hitting, festival music, which is more being up here for an hour rather than roller coaster ride. So.